Great time. And hopefully next
and maybe even some of us older owners is, but I'm back.
Hey FOOS, it's Mizzah Tee. I just want to say before we get started here that I was in Active Gamer Life's recent Active Gamer Life podcast, and there was a question posed to us, like what was our favorite podcast on YouTube. I mentioned obviously Active Gamer Life. I mentioned Live and Leveled. I mentioned NVC, which is Nintendo Voice Chat. But I forgot to mention probably one of the first ones I ever listened to or watched on YouTube, next to Eccentric Gamer Show, which was Red Knight's previous channel. And that is KFD's Predictors podcast. Sorry, dude, I forgot to mention you. You know, in the spur of the moment, when you put on the spot with a question, sometimes you forget all the details of your answer, and forgot you. Shout out to KFD and the Predictors podcast. Been watching this dude for a long time. Very entertaining. Canuck, along with Tony Rendy, PM Prime. So yeah, check those guys out. Sorry I forgot you, man, but I'm giving you a shout here, so it's all good. All right, and now let's move on to the video. Here's a shot of my MacBooks. I'm a Apple C for life. It's all about that Mac FOOS. But yeah, you can see my my iPhones. Here's a couple of them. I got a couple more. I think I still have my 3G, but here's the 4S. And my newest phone, the iPod, the iPhone 6 Plus. It's funny how cell phones first started off really big, and they try to make them smaller, and now it seems like they're trying to get bigger again. It's kind of crazy. But yeah, you know, I'm crazy about my Mac. Obviously, I went to film school, so in design and video and, you know, print, we all use Macs. And here's a picture of here's a sticker that my daughter gave me to put on my Xbox. Doc stuff, and she loves it, and she says it'll make it prettier. So I stuck it on there. And like my video on Iwata had a lot to do with inspiration. I was talking about inspiration that I get from video games, obviously, but I also get inspiration from films and books and things of that nature. And here's a film or a book turned into a film, or a series of films, obviously, The Lord of the Rings. And also here's Dark Crystal. We'll get into that in a minute. But here's the trilogy, the special edition. I actually copped this for really cheap way back in the day. I think it was like 2007 I got this, and I was at a pawn shop. I saw it, and they were doing like they were trying to get rid of their DVDs, so they were doing a 3 for $12 or something, and they just didn't know what they had here. And technically this is, you know, 3 movies, with so much more, obviously being a special edition. But it was under the it was over that sign that said 3 for $4, and they reluctantly gave it to me for that. They didn't want to fight me, and I was not having it. So it's really cool because it comes with, you know, all the deleted stuff. It comes with the director's production diary, where you get what's the director's name? You get Peter Jackson on his production diary talking about all the cool things. I think it was like post-production diary. Talked about, you know, editing and all that cool stuff, and all that stuff is here, and all the stuff that they cut out. Now in the movie, instead of being 3 hours long or 3.5 hours long, it's 4.5 hours long. So, but I think it's awesome. They added all that stuff, and obviously these comes in this cool binder with the bookshelf kind of deal, and it looks like you know, the books, the Tolkien books. It's really cool. One of my prized possessions, and the fact that I got it for $12 at that time was amazing. So, yep, I love it. Pretty cool. And you know, like I said, Lord of the Rings was one of the first things I remember reading back in the day, and I got a lot of inspiration from it. So definitely made me a fantasy fan, and it's one of the books early on that got me into fantasy stuff. So yeah, pretty cool. And here's another film, The Dark Crystal. If you haven't seen this and you're a fantasy film or just a fantasy fan in general, you got to see this movie. It is amazing. It was done by Jim Henson. I believe it was 1982 this movie came out. I saw it much later. I don't want to say much later, probably 87 or 88 is when I saw it, and it's amazing. It's a testament to puppetry and animatronics and why they're still amazing and why they're so good. A lot of people refer to it as Lord of the Rings light, which is fine, but you know, to be compared to Lord of the Rings, anything is pretty damn cool. But the cool thing that came with the special edition one is that you have Jim Henson's notebook. This is his actual writing. Obviously, it's been photocopied or whatever, but this is his actual notebook when he was working on the pre-production of the film. And you get all the, you know, all this stuff that comes with it. So you can see what his ideas were, some that he used and some that he ultimately didn't use or cut out from the film once he put it together. But this is a treasure to me, man, because huge Jim Henson fan, love the Muppets, grew up with this stuff, and to have this is pretty damn cool with the DVD. Here's I think it's like a thank you kind of a note, and you know, just some background on the project. And this is another cool, very cool thing. This is an actual edit or actual film frame from the movie, and that's the frame it is right there. You get to see there, and that's actual real film from the movie, the original, one of the original copies, I'm sure. Very cool. I love actual film, not just, you know, video, but I love film and the artistry behind it. And it's just so cool that they were able to do what they did in this movie back then, you know, with the all the cool backgrounds and all that stuff that they had to do, and bringing all that stuff together was probably really tough, and they did it. And this is actually something I forgot about. Like I said, I'm so into this film. I bought this book called what was it, the World of Dark Crystal, and it just has, like, you know, concept art and stills from the movie and the lore. And I mean, this thing is giant. This book probably weighs, you know, more than 5 pounds. It is huge. Here's one of the symbols, one of the big symbols from the movie. Here's some artwork of the little animals and stuff. And I wanted to show this because a lot of people, you know, for this type of film, some people who watch movies like this don't realize how much work goes into these things. Like, as far as like the background stuff that you might not even see in the movie, that you might not even use. There it is, World of the Dark Crystal. And it's just crazy. And it's one of the things I'm actually doing for my novel, that this book and books like it inspired me to do, which is really dig into and build your world all the way down to the smallest details, to the insects. And here's one of the creatures from the book. One of the main, I forget right now what they're called, but very integral. Here's the main female lead, and you get like a full shot. That's what's so cool. Like, you get the Muppet stuff, but then you also get like full shots of them walking, to add to the illusion that, you know, they're not Muppets, they're actually little creatures. And this movie was so ahead, to me it was so ahead of its time, for how much puppetry went into it. This is not like, you know, the regular Muppets that you see in like the Muppet Show or something. These are really detailed. You know, they tried to make little creatures, and you have all this stuff like Stonehenge and type of artwork, or old Egyptian type of artwork. Again, these are all the details that went into making this movie that you don't really see. I mean, they're in the background or whatever, but a lot of detail went into making this film so rich. That's why you get these cool costumes and these characters. Just, you know, the design work that goes into it and the building of the lore. And here is what's it called, the Great Conjunction. This is like the symbol for it, and a nice little overlay to explain what happens during the Great Conjunction. This is all, again, part of the book, or part of the part of the movie, and I love the movie. I think if you, like I said, if you're a fantasy fan, to me, it's timeless. You can watch this now and not have any problem, because, like I said, the creature work was so well done. All the details they put. Look at all these little insects and creatures that you may or may not see in the film, but they went through and they made a whole ecosystem. This is the kind of stuff that goes into the best films. So yeah, look at these little elfling looking creatures here. They're really cute little creatures that are in the film. All these little designs of them, sketch work and stuff like that. You can hear the kills me that I can't remember their names right now. What are they called? The Ancients or something like that. They're a major part of the film. And I believe even this, more than anything else, was the inspiration for Legend of Zelda. I'm not going to give away the story or anything, but if you watch this, you will see what I'm talking about. If you watch this film, here's another inspiration right here. This is actually what I refer to as my favorite film of all time, The Crow. And it's because it has so many elements that I love about films all in one, or just inspirations in general. There's great cinematography in it. The soundtrack is amazing, which I'll get into in another video, just briefly. And it's a superhero, if you will, kind of anti-hero kind of film. Brandon Lee was the action star. He was the guy. He was just about to come into his own, and it was great to see him make this movie. Unfortunately, it was his final movie, obviously, but inspiration, like I said. If you guys have a chance to check these films out, if you haven't, they're amazing, and they're a part of what inspired me as an artist. So yeah, check them out. Peace out, fools. Oh yeah, one more thing. Play Nintendo, fools.